Listen, your e-commerce business is either going to live or die, survive, barely survive, or thrive based on how well you manage your cash flow. Whether you're selling on Amazon, Shopify, BigCommerce, Etsy, whatever it is, you're going to need a platform, or you're going to need to rather a system in place that's going to help you to manage your finances. It's really important as an e-commerce seller that you understand the basics of accounting for your e-commerce business, along with setting up systems and processes that are going to help you remain compliant. By the way, I'm Darnisha, your e-commerce CFO, and I help Amazon FBA sellers navigate sales tax, manage cash flow, and scale to multiple 6 and 7 figures with cash flow management, data analytics, and tax reduction strategies. Let's get to it. Today, we're going to focus on two of the most common, or really the only, bookkeeping methods, and that's the accrual basis and the cash basis of accounting. Now, when it comes to your bookkeeping, business owners, you can choose to either go with cash base or with accrual base. So which one should you choose for your e-commerce business? What are the differences between the two? The key differences between cash and accrual-based accounting, it comes down to your timing, the time when your sales are recorded and when your expenses are recorded in your books. Cash accounting involves recording your income and your expenses when money changes hands. Your income is recorded when money is received, and then your expenses are recorded when your bills are paid. Now, most small business owners opt to use cash basis of accounting, and that's because it's much easier to maintain. It's easier to determine when a transaction has occurred just by looking at your bank account or by checking your bank statements. Then you can know exactly how much you spent, when you spent it, what's in your bank account, and how much money you have available. With this method, you're not tracking receivables or payables. So an example of that for my e-commerce sellers is this. When you sell a product on Amazon, you're not recording the transaction until it actually hits the bank account. So when Amazon settles your account and deposited funds into your bank, that's when that transaction is recorded in cash basis accounting. This type of accounting is used mainly for like restaurants, because there's not much of a difference in time from when they get paid and when they're paying out, whether it's for employees or vendors. Now, on the other hand, if we talk about our accrual-based method, this method involves recording your transactions when you receive orders, or when you receive the sale, or when you receive the request, to offer that product or service to a consumer. And so, yes, you may be recording the transaction before you actually receive the funds, because this system is based on recording the transactions when the transaction occurred as compared to when you actually receive your payment or when you receive cash. Now, most businesses operate on credit. They tend to settle debts after a transaction has occurred, or after the transaction has already been made. So this is why the accrual-based method is often used, despite the fact that the cash method is much easier to use and much easier to maintain. Now, as your business grows and as you expand, the accounting method that's going to be required for you to use by GAAP, which are generally accepted accounting principles, is the accrual-based method. Let me give you an example of accrual base. Back to my Amazon sellers. So when you make a sale on, let's say, June 10th, you're going to record the transaction on June 10th, even though you have not received payment for those sales. That's how the accrual method works. So you have a little bit of background between the differences of accrual base and the cash base, but which one is going to be best for me to use in my Amazon business? Before I give you my final opinion, I'm going to talk about some advantages and disadvantages of each method. Now, for the cash basis method, it's really simple to use, as I mentioned before, and you can see as a business owner immediately how much funds you have in your bank account just by pulling up your online banking or by looking at your statement. You can see what you have at any given moment. The disadvantage to this method is that it lacks details, right? Your cash can increase or decrease from month to month, and you're not going to know why, right? And this method does not give you a full picture of the financial health of your business. In addition, you can also overspend because you're not anticipating future expenses. And then lastly, as I mentioned before, as you grow, you're going to have to switch to the accrual-based method. Some of the advantages of the accrual-based method is that, one, it's going to give you a greater level of detail and a true picture of the financial health of your business. With this method, your accountant or CPA, they're able to forecast much easier, and it's more accurate. In addition, this method is required by GAAP once your business reaches a certain level. And so if you're already using the accrual-based method, you're not going to have to transition from one accounting method to the next as you grow. Some disadvantages of this method is that it's not as simple. It does not lack the details that you need. And because of that, you're going to be required to possibly outsource an accountant, a CFO, someone to assist you in ensuring that your books are properly up to date, transactions are categorized, and that you're compliant with sales tax and any other tax liability that you may have. So if you ask me, as your e-commerce CFO, which method is going to be best for my e-commerce business? And it's going to be the accrual-based method. As I mentioned to you before, this method is going to give you greater visibility into the health of your business. You're going to have the tools that you need to predict what may happen going forward. You're going to be able to compare your finances across different platforms and channels. And then you can also anticipate what costs may be coming up, what expenses you may be incurring in the future, and plan for them accordingly. And then lastly, one of the most important things is that you're going to have greater visibility. You're going to have a better picture of the financial health, profitability, and resilience of your company. So don't get overwhelmed. If you don't know where to start, the first thing that you should do, you should already have this in place, is some kind of cloud-based accounting system, whether it's QuickBooks. Make sure you have a full accounting system, something that does reporting, records transactions for you. You don't want to go with a program that is limited. We'll do a different video on the different types of systems and why QuickBooks or Xero would be the best option. But and then lastly, you want to outsource or hire someone who can help you understand the nuances of your business, so that way you can make decisions that are going to be best to help you grow and scale to the next level. So thank you for your time. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment to this video, and share it with another e-commerce seller who can benefit from this information. I'll see you next time.